Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you buying an RV at one of these RV shows, like the Hershey Show? Well, we've got something to tell you.
So you think you want to buy an RV? You don't need an inspection. I know you're a mechanic, or maybe you've owned 4 or 5 RVs in your lifetime. You don't need an inspection. You know it all. Or do you? Let me tell you, you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't get an inspection, you're going to make a huge financial mistake. After you've gone around and found the particular RV that you want, fifth wheel, travel trailer, whatever it is that you want, you better get someone who knows what they're doing to do a thorough inspection. And now I'm not talking about kick the tires, walk around and say you're done. I'm talking about thorough. All the systems, all the parts, moving and not. Make sure that it is inspected. If they're not spending a day doing it, you're paying for something you're not getting. Brand new or used, 2 years old or 22 years old, you need to have it inspected. There are things that come out of the factory that are not right. And while that salesman's going to walk around and show you all the glitz, you need someone who's going to walk around and show you all the problems so that you can get it fixed. And whether the manufacturer pays to have it fixed, whether you go back to them and they warranty it, or if it's a used unit, you know exactly what it is that you need to have fixed so you make the right financial decision and don't end up taking a bath.
Take it from us. We wanted an RV. We were overwhelmed with the choices and what we were buying. Upon researching, a lot of researching, we decided to go with an older unit. And for us, no matter what unit we wanted to have an inspection done. I used to drive school buses back in the day, and I knew particularly that I wanted tag axle, side radiator. I wanted it to drive a certain way. So those things were important to us. But I know mechanically how dangerous things can be if they're not maintained and done right. So the fact that we were going the way we were going, an inspection was going to happen no matter what.
We spent the better part of a couple of months talking with different inspectors all over the country. Why all over the country? I didn't know where we were going to buy the RV from, so I wanted a lot of local people in case for any reason I bought it somewhere, I would have somebody I could call. The problem was, after speaking to 15 different inspectors, I got the feeling that all of them don't really spend a whole lot of time doing the inspection, and I probably wasn't going to get very much bang for my buck. By chance, we fell into Blue Ox RV Inspections. And after me asking them all the questions that I had asked every other one, I realized that these people are the real deal. Not only do they pay attention to detail, not only do they do the inspection, but they spent 3 times the amount of time and gave us a report that was 332 pages and over 400 pictures, an extremely detailed CRL list that we were able to use to determine how much money we were going to have to spend in order to get it fixed. We took that, we negotiated the price down, not knowing whether or not the seller was going to meet us, but they met us at the dollar value we felt was fair to buy it with the amount of work that it needed done. 1 year later, we are thrilled to death with the unit we bought. We actually came in slightly under the total budget because we got some work done a little bit cheaper than we thought by going back to the factory and getting it done. And we are thrilled with this RV and the 15,000+ miles that we've put on it in 1 year's time.
So that was us buying our used unit. And after going to the manufacturer, we took some of those factory tours. And I was pleasantly surprised on some angles, and then some angles I was a little concerned. And when now looking at these RV shows, we look at all the different units, and I'm looking at everything with a little different eye than I did before. Yes, they're absolutely beautiful, but there's so much more. You're putting your family and your safety in this vehicle, and you're driving down the road. Sometimes in manufacturing, some things aren't perfect. A lot of times, a lot of things aren't perfect. So looking at these RVs, yes, the salesmen are all here. They're all from different boat industries and car industries. They send their best of the best to do the high pressure sales at these RV shows. And they're going to get you a great deal. It's going to be the best, and they show you these prices. You want it? Great. And I want your family to enjoy it. But slow down. have an inspection. I know it's new, but there are things that an inspector will find that have to be fixed on this unit before you put your family and your safety in this vehicle.
See, there's no regulation in the industry. So you're buying a box, a house on wheels, and it's running down the road trying to shake itself apart. They build these things on a manufacturer's assembly line, and they push them out the door, and they hope they sell them. If you don't get an inspection, you are not going to know everything that's wrong until after you own it. And then you're going to have to try and get someone to fix this, bring it back to the manufacturer otherwise, and then put up with all the warranty stuff. But if you get a detailed list prior to walking away with that new unit and all these items are fixed, you're first in line to get them fixed because they want to complete that sale. So whatever you do, don't sign on the dotted line unless it's contingent on the inspection and what the inspector finds.
And if they give you a hard time about getting an inspection, run. They know something. Don't put your family at risk.
Or your finances, because you're not talking about going out and buying a Coke. You're talking about going out and buying several $100,000, if not $500,000 worth of vehicle. And to make a $50,000, $100,000 mistake on it is something you will never come back from.
Okay, when you pick out your perfect RV, and there's going to be hundreds, thousands to choose from at these RV shows, and you get into the negotiations and they're gonna pressure you to sign, turn the tables. Know that they don't want you to pay cash. They make money on the financing. So if you're going to pay cash, try to work with them and get them down, play with their financing, and then either pay it off when the first payment, because there's no prepayment penalty, or just negotiate that way that you're going to finance and get to the bottom line pricing before you pay. And the other thing is don't let them hold your deposit without it being refundable. Make sure you know what you're signing. Read every word and make it contingent on the inspection. And also after the inspection, before you sign that finance document, that everything is fixed, everything is done. And the only way you're going to know if it's all done is by knowing first what needs to be done. And the only way you're going to know that is by having an inspection done.
You have a greater negotiating capability when you finance it because they make the money on the financing. So even if you plan on paying cash, don't let them know that. Use their financing. Even if you pay it off the week later, there's no prepayment penalties. So you can actually buy the RV that you want cheaper if you finance it, as long as you plan on paying it off. Do you need an inspection? Yes, you do. You will make a financial mistake that will show itself a week later, a month later, that will cost you money. Even if it's on a new unit and you're 500 miles away from the manufacturer, you have to get it to the manufacturer for them to fix it. So there's your gas and your time to go there and get it fixed. Yes, they may warranty it, but they're not covering your costs to move to it and to bring it back home. So you want to make sure every single thing that is not 100% correct on that unit is fixed prior to you taking possession of it, so that you can drive away, whether it's a month later, a week later, you can drive away knowing you're going to get the best possible use out of that vehicle. So, do you need an inspection? Yes, you do. Where do you get that inspection? From the most qualified people out there, Blue Axe RV Inspections.
So remember, and do never forget, it's not about the destination.
It's all about the journey.